Right then, so Frank Warren has said that Itauma versus Oleksandr Usyk could be happening this year in 2025. Get out of here. That's what I have to say to that. But Itauma has done an interview saying he believes he's the best in the world and has a better all-round skill set than Oleksandr Usyk. Let's see what he's got to say. This was an interview with him, Simon Jordan, Spencer Oliver on Talk Sport. Let's have a look at this and we'll get into it and break it all down.
Like my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed the later rounds. That's all what I kind of...
Okay, so he's saying he believes he's the best in the world, but he just hasn't displayed his IQ and all that as the fight goes into later rounds, which is that, look, most of the time has got a very, very, very good boxing IQ. He's got big power in his hands. He's very quick. He's good on his feet, but he's not got a better skill set than Usyk. And as of right now, most of the time is not the best in the world. He probably will be one day, but not right now. He's 20 years old. He's still got a lot more to learn. That is why, look at him already. He is going to be the best in the world one day. He's 20 years old doing what he's doing, but not right now.
Want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that.
Look, speaking of Itauma's next opponent, he is fighting Mike Balogun in May. And Mike Balogun, the only good person he's been in there with was Gaziev, and he lost that fight. He got knocked out. And other than that, Mike Balogun's never fought anybody, never fought anyone. He lost in the second round to Gaziev. He's never fought anyone. He's never beaten anyone. And this is the guy that they've stuck in with Itauma in hope to give him more rounds. I think it's shocking from Frank Warren. It's a shocking matchup from Frank Warren to pit Itauma in there with. It's pointless. He's not going to learn anything there. And if they want to stick him in with opponents who they want to give him more rounds so that Itauma can showcase more in the later rounds, Mike Balogun is not that guy. I think, people have been hoping for Dempsey McKean to do that. He couldn't. This is a massive step down from Dempsey McKean.
Later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards
other than him saying he's got a better skill set than Usyk, he's talking fairly logical in my opinion. He is. He knows he needs to showcase his skills more in the later rounds to prove more of a point to the overall boxing fans. But, he's blasting guys out of there anyway, doing what he's got to do. But that, he's talking logical. He knows he needs to prove himself more in order for him to be put in the conversation more with higher level guys. But going the Mike Balogun way, it's not Itauma's fault, I don't think. It's not the right move. And him saying already he believes he's got a skill set than Usyk, I think's pretty over the top and pretty delusional. And I really like Itauma. In a few years, he probably is going to be my favorite heavyweight. He's, a class guy, good personality, fairly humble overall. But him saying he's got a better skill set than Usyk, though, it's pretty delusional to say, because that is not the case whatsoever. That Usyk's probably got some of the best boxing IQ we've ever seen at heavyweight, in my opinion. He's up there with Ali in boxing IQ that we've seen in the heavyweight division. Like, honestly, that is what I believe. Usyk's got some of the best boxing IQ ever in the heavyweight division. And Itauma is showing good traits of himself as well, showing that he's got great boxing IQ, but he's nowhere near the level of Oleksandr Usyk right now. He's not the best in the world right now. And for Frank Warren saying, let's stick Itauma in there with Oleksandr Usyk this year, it's stupid. It is stupid to do. If this fight happens this year, I will be fuming because Usyk doesn't need to do it. Usyk will batter him, and it's not good to be rushing someone like Itauma into a big fight with Usyk. And it doesn't matter if Itauma loses that fight at all, because he would. But there's no point in it. He's not going to gain anything out of that at all.
8 rounds, he'll just outdo him because I've never been in that sort of fight. So
if you had 2 cars
there
or
we go. Here's
more
an advert.
on finance between
Fantastic.
2015 and 2021,
this year's just about getting me some rounds. And
I think the big problem you've got, mate, is that like a young Mike Tyson, when you look at that, you go, before he got that opportunity against Trevor Berbick.
Yeah, you know, it's true. Like, you know, he's blasting everybody out of there. That is what Itauma is doing. But why are they giving him Mike Balogun when Frank Warren's talking about putting him in there with Oleksandr Usyk? Then a fight that he's next got is with Mike Balogun. That I just don't understand. He's not going to give Moses any rounds whatsoever in there. That's the thing. So I don't get it. I don't get that at all. And I feel like it's insulting to Oleksandr Usyk putting him in the same conversation with Moses. Right now. Moses will be there one day. I know for a fact he will be, and I hope he will be. But right now, putting those two, Oleksandr Usyk and Itauma, in the same conversation is insulting to Oleksandr Usyk. It is. Usyk shouldn't be around this in this Moses Itauma situation. Itauma shouldn't be speaking Oleksandr Usyk's name right now and his name in the same sentence. It shouldn't be happening, and this is a fight that Oleksandr Usyk should never entertain. Because look, Oleksandr Usyk's about 38 now, and he's coming to the end of his career. There is no point in him fighting Moses Itauma, who hasn't proved himself yet in one of his final fights of his career. It makes no sense. It is pointless. Honestly, if Usyk's got 2 more fights, fight Daniel Dubois, fight Joseph Parker. They're the fights that we should see for Usyk. If not, you know, Caballero as well. But if there's 2 more fights, then yeah, possibly, it looks like they're doing a Dubois fight, whatever. Then do Joseph Parker or Ajit Caballero. They're the fights that have got to happen for Usyk. The Itauma fight should not be in the equation. And it doesn't look like it is for Usyk. I don't think Usyk's interested in the fight. Frank Warren seems really interested, but I don't get why you giving Itauma Mike Balogun to try and give him more rounds. It's not going to work. And then you want him in there with Usyk this year. Frank Warren's still salty about the fact that Fury lost to Usyk twice. He's doing everything he can to try and stick one of his guys in there with Usyk, hoping and praying that they can beat him. But it's not going to happen. Dubois got no chance against Usyk. Itauma's got no chance against Usyk. Usyk's already beaten Dubois, and Usyk would make easy work of Moses Itauma. It would be over fairly quickly, in my opinion, as of now. For Itauma overall, he can be one of the best heavyweights ever in the world, and he probably end up will being, in my opinion. Itauma, in my opinion, by the end of his career, we're going to be talking about him as one of the best ever in the heavyweight division to do it. I know for a fact that is what we will be talking about by the end of Moses Itauma's boxing career. But as of now, don't talk about Oleksandr Usyk. Frank Warren, don't make the matchup. Don't rush Moses Itauma. He's 20. Don't rush the guy into big fights. There's no point in it whatsoever. Because against Usyk, it's like, I mean, if he loses, though, knowing a lot of us boxing fans, the hype will suddenly drop of Itauma. Like, that's the thing. And he will lose to Usyk, but it's not going to happen, though. Hopefully, it doesn't. Usyk's got bigger things to do right now. But, yeah. Itauma, he hasn't got a better skill set than Usyk. And do I think he ever will? Overall skill set with boxing IQ, no. He would never, in my opinion. I think Usyk's, once everything's said and done with him, he is going to go down as he'll be in the top 4, possibly. Yeah, in top 4, in my opinion, heavyweights Usyk will be in. By the end of his career, we will be talking about that. Itauma, overall boxing IQ-wise, I don't think he'll be better than Usyk, but he's got that style, that kind of, it's like, in my opinion, traits, the odd trait of Mike Tyson here and there. Not the best boxing IQ ever, but he can be one of the best heavyweight boxers ever. But attribute and skill-wise, Usyk's just a different level to a lot of these guys who have ever fought at heavyweight. So, yeah, anyway, that's what I think. Anyway, thank you all for watching.